Going into our second match of the day between Brotherhood of Gents and the Salty Skyborne on Water Hazard. Let me just slur my words a bit more. Let's take a look at these ship builds. What do you say? First off, for the Brotherhood of Gents, we have the Impenetrable, a galleon, piloted by Byron Cavendish. This galleon has a long-range Merc Lumberjack Hwachaside with a close-range double Hwachaside flare gun on the rear. Their ally, the Hildegard Watchafish, piloted by Zank, left side Gatling gun, right side Gatling gun. Their opponents are the Salty Skyborne, bringing a galleon of their own, Mercury Heavy Flak Hwacha, right side Heavy Carronade Hwacha, rear flare gun, piloted by Soderholm, and finally the Roseskov, piloted by Sundstrom. It is a Junker, double Artemis Hades, flanking the right side, Gatling mortar on the left. Looking at these ship builds, I mean, from a pure build power level perspective, one might say the Salty Skyborne has the advantage. They do have that double Artemis for the Junker, which will be very powerful against the opposing galleon. The Impenetrable, on the other hand, not the Impenetrable, the Hildegard, they've got some disabling power of their own, but they're going to have to get into a much closer range to really utilize this Hwacha. And getting into close range versus the galleon is something that's kind of dangerous, whereas the Roseskov, they can just shoot those Artemis from wherever they are, as long as they have a spot, which they currently do. Already seeing some Artemis shots coming out. There's also a distinction between the builds of these two galleons. Impenetrable, bringing the Lumberjack. That's going to allow them to be a lot more disruptive to the opposing galleon, whereas the Salty Princess, bringing Heavy Flak instead, meaning they don't have access to the same balloon disruption, but they do have the possibility to get much faster kills with some well-timed Heavy Flak shots. Personally, I'm a lot more afraid of the Lumberjack, just because the timing doesn't need to be as per. It can be very difficult to land those Heavy Flak shots at the right moment when the whole armor goes down. Otherwise, the Heavy Flak's going to be doing absolutely nothing, whereas the Lumberjack is always going to be useful. Already seeing the balloon on the Roseskov going down, Hildegard has taken this opportunity to move into close range on the Salty Princess, with blue team focusing on their ally galleon. Salty Princess is going to be backing out. It looks like they want to utilize the Roseskov, their close range side, but they're not going to be able to with the Junker losing its balloon, and now the Hildegard moving into close range, disabling all the weapons on the Salty Princess. A nice bump, flipping them around, Gatling going to be coming out. They're going to have some difficulty doing real damage here without the support of their ally. Watchafish, it's a ship, it's very destructive to components. It has very good disabling potential, but it takes a while to actually get kills. You see them having to use that side Gatling gun to take down the whole armor, and then flipping back to the Hwacha, but not fast enough. Galleon already looks like we have two people tanking the hull, so like the window for them, if they're using that side Gatling, the window for them to flip back to the front Hwacha is going to be very small, with the Salty Princess having two people tanking that hull, and the Hildegarda going to be forced out by the Gat mortar of the Roseskov. I don't know. Watchafish versus the Galleon. Galleon's so tanky. I don't know if this was the right call for red team. They're absolutely going to be relying on the Impenetrable to do the majority of the damage here. And we do have long-range fire continuing to come out from that ship, targeting the Salty Princess. Salty Princess landing on the terrain here. You gotta pull forward, man. Get away from this. taking some unnecessary hull armor damage. Long range heavy flak. Sorry, Hwacha. That heavy clip. Don't see the heavy clip too often nowadays since the Hwacha's accuracy buff. But we are seeing it here. Hildegarda wants to move forward. It looks like he wants to pursue the Junker, but the Salty Princess going to be rising up, forcing him out. That close range Hwacha. I mean, that is the advantage to this new concept of pairing the Hwacha on your long range side. It means that even if, you know, traditionally a close range ship wants to get in on the long range side because they want to get inside your gun arcs and your arming time, because long range side not very powerful at close range, but having that Hwacha paired in with the Merc does give you a little bit of close range defense, even if they close down on your weak side. And you see that here with the Hildegarda forced all the way back to their ally. Impenetrable really not taking a lot of damage here. The red goldfish is being... They have not done too much permanent damage, but they are being very disruptive, making it difficult for blue team to fire on the Impenetrable, sort of kind of leaving them to do whatever they want, which is probably what they want to be doing here. Salty Princess's balloon is going down. They're popping that drogue chute, trying to stay in the air. They're going to lose hull armor here. If we have a well-timed Hwacha barrage, managing to take them down, that was a fairly slow hull armor rebuild for the Galleon. They certainly didn't have two people tanking on it that time. Roskov's going to be forced out here, and they have to be very careful not to lose their balloon. I'm sure they have somebody, yeah, rare form, sitting up there on the upper deck. They are in full repair mode. They need to get out of here. They need to get behind cover. Just barely keeping their balloon up. And I think Hildegarda is going to try to root them out. Not a good Hwacha barrage. The turning of the goldfish, throwing off their shots. They are going to bump them. They're trying to knock out their balloon. If the Roskov loses their balloon here above these bridges, that could be very bad. These bridges, these rope bridges do have hitboxes and will do a lot of damage if you fall on them. The balloon going out, the whole armor going out. Oh, they need to move forward. Oh, this is bad. They're trying to go between them. They're not making it through the gap, taking a lot of damage. Oh, maybe a poor decision from the Junker. If they are going to scrape by here, they're building up their whole armor. And they have stayed alive long enough for the Salty Princess to engage this long-range side on the Hildegarda. That was a lot of unnecessary damage that the Roskov took there. Maybe just unaware of exactly the position of these bridges. But it never feels good to take that much terrain damage. And Hildegarda's kind of caught out in the open here. They're having a little bit of difficulty keeping their main engine up, as the Roskov kind of stalks them from behind. Galleon's going to be trading damage back and forth. Lumberjack from the Impenetrable about to take down the Salty Princess's balloon. And Roskov has taken a high position here. And it looks like Impenetrable realizing this, they want to move forward. They want to see if they can get a good angle on the Roskov, because oh, this is an opportunity for them, because the Salty Princess is not going to be able to shoot the Galleon from this side. A little bit of perhaps poor positioning from the Salty Skyborne. They have left their Junker exposed. And we're going to have Lumberjack shots coming in, taking out the balloon of the Roskov. Oh, please don't hit these bridges again. Going to be gliding underneath. So while they did lose their balloon, the Impenetrable not able to put out enough firepower in that short window to kill them. They do need to be careful. The Junker is sitting at fairly low health, so if they do lose that whole armor, I mean, the Junker does have a lot of hull armor, but if it does go down, they will die very quickly, so they have to be very careful with their positioning. Especially the Junker's not the fastest ship, so if you get kind of caught with your pants down out in the open, there's not going to be anywhere for you to go. So you see them being very careful here, just edging out of the terrain, seeing if they can maybe take a few pot shots, but they do not want to fully leave the safety of their cover behind. Looks like they're going to be engaging the close range side. The Gatlings are coming out, not able to kill the whole armor of the Hildegarda. So those mortars are not going to be particularly effective. And they are choosing this moment to commit. I'm not sure if this is the best decision. The Junker is not a very fast ship. You're going to have a lot of difficulty catching this goldfish, so I mean, unless they turn to the long-range side here, they're not going to have any gun arcs. Salty Princess is going to be supporting them from behind, but they can really only do so much with their ally this far forward. They're not really going to be able to protect them, and Junker's balloon about to go down again. We'll probably be seeing a whole armor break fairly soon with these mercs. Now, I'm really questioning the decision for the Salty Princess to bring that heavy flak, because I mean, you see at these very long range fights, it's very difficult to take down the whole armor. Although, as I say that, the whole armor goes down, but let's see if we get some heavy flaks. It's difficult to time the heavy flak with the whole armor break before it gets rebuilt. So that heavy flak so far in this match has been more or less totally useless. Whereas the Impenetrable with that Lumberjack has been hugely disruptive for the Salty Skyborne. Hildegard is moving forward. Looks like he wants to pick a fight with the Roskov. But they have to be careful here. The Hades is coming out and the Artemis is coming out. If they lose that Hwacha, this is going to be real bad stuff for the Red Goldfish. Also, this is apparently taking place on the map edge. So the Goldfish is really not... They're not going to be able to back up. They're going to have to duck down and move forward. Get behind the spire. But this means the Roskov is still going to have good angles. Galleons are going to be trading Hwacha back and forth. Looks like Roskov... It looks like they're... Finally, Blue Team is going to be dual focusing one of these Brotherhood of Gents ships. And the target's going to be the Impenetrable. We see Artemis is coming out. We're going to see a heavy Hwacha clip coming out with the whole armor break. Doing a lot of damage, supplemented by the Artemis of the Roskov. The whole armor is going to be rebuilt, but no heavy... No... Was there a heavy flak there? I'm not quite sure. And the Impenetrable, they might be able to get a kill on this Red Galleon, but before the Hildegard is able to bump the Junker away. Hwacha coming out, disabling the Blue Junker. Salty Princess is going to be having a little more difficulty killing anything without the help of their ally, so the Hildegarda blocking this Junker is very important. But the Gatling Mortar is going to force them back. It looks like they're going to move forward. Ooh. Impenetrable finally going down. Hildegarda wants to take a Hwacha volley on the Salty Princess and then run on past and try to get out of here. Not the best Hwacha barrage, not taking down any of the guns, and paying for that trouble. So we do have a 2-1 lead for the Salty Skyborne. They are not on the red side of the map, so we are going to have a little bit of downtime before the next fight. Hwacha Fish, definitely an interesting choice here. But it really hurts their kill potential a lot, bringing Like, they can take down all the guns of either of these blue ships, but if they're unable to do so, like the Roskov, the Gatling mortar is very strong against Watchafish. They will not be able to stay alive for very long, so if the Watchafish is unable to get the kill and they allow the Roskov to rebuild their close-range guns, like, they're going to be forced back. You saw that just over and over again in this game. The Hildegarde just not able to put out enough damage to get any kills. But let's see what they can do here. I mean, the Rostkov is heavily damaged, so if they get a whole armor break, they'll be able to kill it very quickly. Watcher from the Salty Princess, going to be forcing them back. Looks like Impenetrable wants to find the angle on the Rostkov. Are they maybe going to be trying to move into close range here? I mean, the Galleon's kind of small and are slow, and their allies already taking quite a bit of damage. Here comes the close range barrage from the Impenetrable. Double Hwacha, but the Rostkov having full armor at the time, not going to be taking any real damage. They're just going to duck down. They have no components. The only thing they really have that they can use is their balloon. But this is maybe, this is not where they want to go. Salty Princess is going to be blocked from the terrain here. Impenetrable with some tar. Not quite going to catch the Junker, but... Man, how did Red Team not pick up that kill? I mean, they had... I guess choosing to go for the tar instead, not the best decision. Because now the Rostkov is going to be able to regroup with their ally in complete safety. Galleons are going to be doing stuff over here, but Hildegarde has taken the opportunity to move in close on the Rostkov. Let's see that side Gatling. If the watch is well timed here, we might be able to see a tying of the game from the Brotherhood of Gents. Oh, they've lost their Hwacha. No kill potential for them. Hildegarde is going to push them back. Push them a little closer to the ally Junker. Ally Galleon. But the close range guns of the Impenetrable are not going to be super useful here. So they're going to have to take a few seconds to turn their ship. And their ally might die in that period of a few seconds. Not sure if this is the best opportunity for the Hildegarde to move in. The mortar... Oh, the Gatling mortar. Killing that goldfish so quickly. That was a real... not the right moment to move in, because the Impenetrable did not have any arcs at all. And now the Impenetrable has decided to move into close range. This is yet another questionable decision, just charging into the Gat mortar with their close range side. Maybe just in a desperate ploy to try to save their ally, but being far too late. I see. Okay, I understand now. The timer is about to expire. That's what we saw there. So with 1 minute left on the timer, the onus was kind of on the Brotherhood of Gents to make something happen, given that they had the point disadvantage, but at the same time, I think they kind of threw... I mean, they had a little bit of time to work with, and I think they've probably now thrown away that game. With 2 more points chalked up for the Salty Skyborne and a 4-1 lead, there's no way they're going to be able to finish the game in their advantage. So it looks like we are going to see the Salty Skyborne moving on to our winners finals match. I mean, Hildegarde, he's going to move in. He's going to try to do something. Maybe going to give up that 5th kill with 10 seconds left, but really nothing Red Team can do. Yeah, not the cleanest, not the cleanest match from either side, to be totally honest.